I have partnered up with Alois to make some champion-specific guides for the Summoner School website. I tried to put a ton of information in every single one of these guides. Currently, I've made 3 champion guides for the Summoner School website. I have made a Garen guide, a Warwick guide, and a Mordekaiser guide. In these guides, you will find stuff like explaining all the runes, the items, matchups, and so on. And on top of every single video that the guide provides, there is also a matchup spreadsheet for every single one of these guides. If you wish to check out one of these guides, the link to the website will be in the video description. Now, with this introduction out of the way, please enjoy this video.
The unworthy are dust, doomed to wither and fade.
This game I thought I would be up against Tryndamere, but it ended up being Varus top with Tryndamere mid, so I have the rune setup and the summoner spell setup that I normally run into Tryndamere. Initially I thought I would be completely screwed because this is simply not what I run into Varus. But interestingly enough, running this setup made me try to experiment with it a bit more, just changing a few runes here and there if I ever meet a Varus again. Having exhaust in this lane might actually be really good because it allows you to slow him down and it reduces his high burst, because Varus has some absolutely disgusting burst in his kit. Normally I try to play it a bit slower and just play around my ultimate to actually win fights, and that's what I thought I should do this game as well. But I tried a very unique tech into Varus and it actually worked out pretty well. What I would normally do is get my tier 2 boots and then go right into Hextech Rocket Belt. The dash is pretty nice and the tier 2 boots allow me to just catch up to the Varus more. Instead, what I ended up doing is going for my tier 2 boots into Verdant Barrier. Before getting Verdant Barrier, however, I did want to go for Rocket Belt, like getting tier 2 boots into Rocket Belt, but at the back of my mind I was thinking Verdant Barrier seems really good against Varus. So at one point I just said, you know what, let's just go for Verdant Barrier and see how it feels. And here's my thought process as to why I wanted to go Verdant Barrier here into Varus. Varus needs to use one of his abilities to pop his Blight stacks, but Verdant Barrier denies that because it has the spell shield. If Varus uses, let's say, his E on me while he has full Blight stacks, the spell shield denies the Blight pop. This can make it pretty annoying for Varus when he tries to all-in you. But you can push this even more, and here is where it gets crazy and where the theory crafting really gets amped up. Mordekaiser can actually use his ultimate in the middle of Varus's E animation. When you think that he's about to use his E and you see the arrows above, you can ulti him. This makes it to where he won't be able to proc down the spell shield with his E as he goes into the Death Realm. Which means that in the Death Realm, Varus will have to fight a Mordekaiser with a spell shield where he can only proc the spell shield with R or Q. And realistically, Varus does not want to use either R or Q to proc it, and that's simply because they're powerful spells. If he uses his Q, he will lose a disgusting amount of burst. If he uses his R, then he won't be able to root. It's a very precise timing, but if you manage to play for this particular power spike, I think it's pretty good. And I actually managed to do this as well. This was my thought process for going Verdant Barrier, and you can kind of get a glimpse into how I like to theory craft and adapt and change my playstyle against certain champions. I'm going to take another all-in into Varus right now, and you will see that I do exactly what I said. I am going to use my ultimate in the middle of Varus's E animation. This means that when I go into the realm, I still have that spell shield and he can only proc it down with his ult or Q. In this case, he uses his ultimate, but that does nothing against me. So then I don't get rooted, so then I can just kind of run him down. This is a skill matchup. Both sides have a chance to win this if they play it properly. What Sett can do is use his own ultimate to cancel yours, so you have to watch out for that, because if that happens, you're probably going to die. What you can do is actually use your ultimate from your maximum ulti range. That way, Sett won't be able to use his ultimate because his range is much shorter. Generally speaking, you don't want to just sit in melee range and fight him. Sometimes I do that because I'm very greedy, but you should not do it. If you just trade auto attacks with him, you're probably going to lose unless you have a bunch of attack speed. And even then, you're probably still going to lose. There's also a chance Sett goes for Blade of the Wind King, and if that happens, you really don't want to sit in melee range. One purchase that is especially good here is plated steel caps. You can space him out much better, and you can force him to EU to actually start a fight. It also forces Sett to go into tier 2 boots in the early game, because if he doesn't, you will always outspeed him. Yeah, he's gonna have more movement speed when he's running at you with his Q, but if he's running at you with his Q, then he can't do auto and then do his Q to auto attack reset into his second Q attack, which means he loses a bit of damage there, and that's pretty good. In team fights, you want to respect his E plus W combo. If he uses someone to ulti in, he can then do E plus W and one-shot your team. What you can do is use your ultimate before he does the combo of E plus W. You can't use your ultimate while he's flying in the air, but you can use it after he lands. And most of the time Sett is injured because because he wants to have a lot of grit. So because of that, when you use your ultimate after he lands, you should be able to 1v1 him. The first item that I look to rush here is going to be Riftmaker. And then afterwards you can buy something like Hextech Rocket Belt if you need the dash because the enemy team has a lot of ranged characters, or Leandri if you want more dueling power, or Bloodletter's Curse, those work fine. You can also buy Zhonya's third if you wish, and that way you won't lose the 1v1 if you are inside the realm. Because what you can do is let Sett use his W, and as long as you're not stunned, you can press your Zhonya. That way, no matter what, his W will never damage you, which means that you will never lose the 1v1. The only way you're losing the 1v1 in the late game is if you don't get your ultimate off, because if that happens, he might be able to get the EW combo off and actually stun you up against your own minions. Our jungler is dead here, but we could still maybe look for a steal because I can use my ultimate on Nasus to make sure it's not a guarantee secure for them. What Nasus ended up doing is running away from me so that I cannot use my ultimate on him. But he went so far out of the Baron pit that he wasn't in smite range, and he also got caught by the Kiana ultimate so he couldn't get in range to smite, effectively making it a flip call. This is a pretty annoying lane simply because Ambessa will dash after using a spell every single time. So because of that, it's almost impossible to actually line up a Q or E on her. There's also the fact that her ultimate makes her immune to yours. So if she times it properly, then your ultimate will do nothing, it will go on cooldown and you're screwed. One thing that you can sort of do to counter her ultimate is let her use it first and then Q behind yourself. Every single time Ambessa uses her ultimate, she should land behind you. So because of this, you can guarantee a Q hit. Another thing you can do is use your ultimate while she still has her passive on. Before she actually attacks, you can use your ultimate and you're going to steal that extra attack speed. And then once her passive auto attacks are gone, then she will have even less attack speed. And you will obviously gain way more, and attack speed is important here. And this is because the most reliable way to beat Ambessa is to auto attack her down later on. You want to get a Bramble Vest early due to the armor and reflect damage and even heal cut against Ambessa, and then after that you're going to go into Rylai's. Once you get Rylai's, you can kind of stick to her and it's gonna be difficult for her to run away. The only way she will realistically escape your melee range if you get your passive up is if she uses every single one of her spells to dash away. But if, for example, she doesn't have her E and isn't able to slow you down, it doesn't matter, she can never escape. After I finish Rylai, I can look for something like Experimental Hexblade or Serpent's Fang. Experimental Hexblade is pretty good because you get more movement speed, but you also get a bunch of attack speed. You can literally just ulti Ambessa and auto attack her down with that extra attack speed. But Serpent's Fang is also pretty good because she has that large W shield and the Eclipse shield. And if there's other shielding champions on the enemy team like a Karma, it's even better. And then after Experimental Hexblade / Serpent's Fang, you can do something like Dusk and Dawn for even more attack speed. But you can also go for something like Bloodletter's Curse or Hextech Rocket Belt or Liandry or whatever else you need for that particular game. Just keep in mind that Serpent's Fang is a very powerful item against Ambessa, especially if she buys Eclipse. And Experimental Hexblade is also really nice because you get that huge boost in attack speed.
Unstoppable. Dominating. Inhibitor.
Thank you guys for joining me in this video. I hope you found the information useful, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.
I am favored by the gods and awaited in the Hall of Bones.